Girl Jen, yes. Hello from Florida, Keith. Or scalding black coffee. Yeah, I switched to black coffee when I was on tour with Mr. Russell Peters. Oh, Julie, working, can't stay. Sorry about that. Hello, Don. Good to see you. Belinda has told me she's going to come in. She's made me bring the fan from the room that she was in into this room. And so she's without circulating air. Feels nice in here. Amy, Sunday you received your top fan badge. Well, congratulations. Yes, somebody, I think Dana was telling me he lost his top fan badge. He was a bit disappointed. He was writing me to see if I could tell him how to get it back. And I think the only way to get it back is to show up and say things. Christopher Korn, hi from Dayton. Yes, hello. Clinton, hello. Still working on the t-shirts, my friend. Bit behind. Oh, here comes Jerry.
Oh, did you see you had a box inside?
We had a box inside.
You have a box with your name on it. Should I go get it? Because it might be... I don't know if it's something to open on the show.
Oh, you can go get it
But
if
it
you
might
want.
be.
Well,
might be something to open on.
yes. Well, Belinda's going to get a box that came today. I think it's actually... I think I know what it is, and it's something that I got for myself. But I'm happy to show it. I'm happy to show it to all of you. Ed, I was trying to make the thing as big as I can. What call did I dial into? I'm not sure. Oh, is that what I was saying? Yes, I was trying to make the thing as big as I can. Amy, I don't think you stole Dana's badge. I think there's plenty of badges to go around, and we can all use all the top fans we can get. I'm working on trying to be able to get guests to come in. Oh, that's a box that's the size that I might be able to. It might be from someone.
It says all kinds of books.
Could you bring over one of those knives?
Oh, you going to stab me or open the box?
No.
I know what you're going to do. You're going to open the box.
Yes, it's Murder Your Spouse on Wednesday.
Yeah, on television, on Facebook TV. Wouldn't that be? Yeah, and then we could try and... Who done it? Well, he did it.
Yeah, well, the cops would show quickly up. And sadly.
Show quickly up, yeah.
They would show quickly
quickly
up.
Yeah, you would be quickly F-U-C-K.
Let's see.
It's a book.
It is a book.
It is a book.
Oh, it's Tim Russert.
Did you order this?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I ordered this book. And going through all the pieces of paper, it's Tim Russert, Wisdom of Our Fathers. And going through all the pieces of paper that I have from all the years, I've been going through old files and folders and finding bits of pieces of paper. I had written down this book recommendation. And then obviously Tim has been dead now for decades, possibly.
Yes.
Oh, at least 10 years. But this is a book where he goes around and he interviews people, and they all tell stories about their fathers. And it's supposed to be quite touching and terrific. And so I was really excited to read it. Lessons and Letters from Daughters and Sons about their fathers. So
You're really quite a sweetie, aren't you?
Yes. Surprised.
I know. Oh, surprise Wednesday.
Surprise.
You really, I mean, the things that touch this man, it's sort of, the things that I learned about him. He cried last night during the Democratic convention.
I cried the night before also.
Oh, I didn't see you. I didn't hear
times.
you. I was right beside him last night. I was Jerry's having a bit of a weep. It was during the John Legend song, wasn't it?
Well, yes. Well,
Yes.
Listen. As you know, I'm a fan of John Legend, who came to one of my shows one time with Christy Teigen. It's in New York.
Oh, cool.
And I met him afterwards, and I assumed that they had come because one of the opening acts was black, and I thought they might be friends with this guy, because I was like, how does John Legend know who I am? But I guess Christy Teigen was a comedy fan, and she wanted to go. So they had come to see me, but then I see him and this other guy taking pictures with each other, and I'm like, well, they know each other. I can't ask him for a picture. So I didn't ask John Legend for a photo, and he didn't. He
came to see you.
He came to see me.
Oh, Jerry!
I mean, not that he knew who I was, but he came to see the headliner.
I've noticed that about you. You do. You've got to be.
Yeah.
You've got to
Anyway.
get a bit more of an ego.
I'm a John Legend fan.
I'm going to help
was a
you with
thrill.
that. I'm going to help you with that. I'm going to help you with getting a bigger ego about who you are and what you've done, because you're pretty unbelievable.
Rich
Hey,
DeChuch went to the same high school as Tim Russert and his son.
hello, Darren. So I just need to tell Jen, are you here? Is Jen clocked in?
Rich
checked in?
DeChuch has got a birthday on Friday, so we'll try and remember to say happy birthday if you're here. Brad's
We
worried that you
received
trust me
3
with.
boxes since Wednesday with party supplies for someone that doesn't live in my house. My birthday. Oh, it's for someone else's birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's not good. Wow. Jen just said yes because all black people know each other, Jake. Ooh.
I know that, Jen.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
No, yes. What I did say, it was, but they were talking to each other, and as if they knew each other. You know, they were being very friendly, and I thought, oh, well, these two guys are friends. I'm not going to ask for a photo when two friends are having a conversation. But meanwhile, this guy was just doing what I should have been doing, which is befriending this guy who I'm a fan of. John Legend's
Rachel,
music I'm a fan, and this is after the show. They had come up specifically to the table where I've got my CDs and crap set up to say hello. I was like,
I know.
oh.
So Rachel's just said here is, you are a lot more famous than you think you are, I think. And I think that you are right, Rachel, because I think that, you performed for, the friggin' president of the United States of America. It's like, come on, Jer.
Scott
Come
Williams
on,
is
get
saying
with
any
it.
song can make him cry after almost 6 months of lockdown. Well, that is also
Oh,
true.
the Billy Porter one didn't make me cry. I was like...
I was sort of excited about it, but it was kind of kooky. But anyway, John Legend's song, I just thought it was a great song last night to end the convention. And
No, just to end the second night of the convention.
to end the second night. God. Yes, Jerry.
We've got
Thank
two
you.
more
Thank
nights.
you for that clarification.
Tonight we've got Obama. We've got.
Listen, and I know, and
who else
and
have we got tonight?
My plan is to
Some
also.
of the big people. Oh, Kamala. We've got Kamala tonight.
My plan is to also watch the Republican convention. I'm not just watching the Democratic convention. And everyone should feel welcome here that's watching the show. I'm not trying to create a partisan space. But anyway, it was nice at the convention, as with all these political conventions, for the most part, usually, historically, we'll see how the one goes this year, but usually they're very patriotic in a great way, calling out to the great things that I think about America. I was born here. You came here, and so you kind of relate to this place as a different place to your home.
Yeah.
But the way that you love your country, I often feel about this country, and especially the last 2 nights, they were very inspirational and compassionate, and talking about our higher calling to take care of each other. That really appealed to me. And that John Legend song, I mean, I cry at Jazz Fest all the time. For those of you who are playing the drinking game at home, I did just say Jazz Fest.
Twice. He said it twice.
Yeah.
Jen, he said it twice.
Drink up, fans. I often cry at Jazz Fest when I'm watching some live music, just because it just goes, music has a way of going right to your heart, right to your emotional center, and it's magic that way. It's magic that someone can blow into a thing or play it with their hands, and that they can put a feeling inside of you. It's just amazing. And I already had some feelings going at the end of the convention last night when John Legend played. Yeah, I was quite touched.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was very sweet. I always like it when you have a bit of a cry. I'm very glad that I'm married to a man who can, weep when, he feels the urge to weep. I have been listening to True Colors. Is that the Split Ends album? That's been making me feel really good.
What's it called?
It's True Colors, and it's Split Ends, and it's from 1979. Well, that's when they wrote. I think it got released in 1980. I told the story the other day about the first concert I went to and how everyone teased us. Obviously, their first concert, because we weren't being very sophisticated. We were being way too enthusiastic. Anyway, it was Split Ends.
This is always fun to read the comments and find something that's very interesting and has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Humpback whales are not the biggest whales. That's the blue whale. Humpbacks can grow 60 feet long, and they can weigh a whopping 40 tons. And I'm getting this information from Darren Garcia in the comments. About half the size of a blue whale. Their flippers can grow up to 60 feet long.
16, which is the largest appendage in the world.
Mm.
Thank you. That is good information. So Jake has got a really funny bit that he did on Letterman that will be on the YouTube, where he talks about when we went whale watching, and we did actually see the fluke of a blue whale, but there was so much seasickness going on. We had those, pressure bracelets, and as soon as you bathed, they were supposed to stop you bathing, but if you bathed, they ran over and gave you your money back. And of course, Fadila was just bathing off the back of the boat the whole time, and I'm holding her, trying not to bath. I did see, the fluke of the blue whale. That was amazing. But we were on a tiny boat, and there wasn't enough room for everyone to sit down. It was bloody dangerous.
Seasickness is pretty terrible. Well,
yeah, and then we were seasick as well.
Brad Gert is suggesting Jake Johansson for president. And I was planning a joke run for president years ago. I thought I would do it on social media, so maybe I'll try that again. But one of the first things that you're going to have to do, Brad, is if you're going to vote for me, is you got to get the spelling of my last name correct, because if you write that
Ramon believes that Jake Johansson would not want to run. MAGA hats. Trump wants to boycott an American tire company because they won't let employees wear Chinese-made magazine hats. And then someone's... Oh, MAGA hats. Oh.
So Jen's talking again about the drive-in shows. And Jen, I can't remember if I mentioned it here on the show, but I did listen to Bert Kreischer talk about those drive-in shows on a podcast. And they're quite expensive to put on, because they require a different kind of stage be set up, and then the sound integration with the drive-in sound, and then also the lighting, and then the camera to shoot you, to put you up on the screen. So that's a whole crew, and he had to take a bus full of crew plus his bus full of comedians, and just explaining where I'm at with my personal tour. I only take 2 bags because I have to pay for a 3rd checked bag, so that second tour bus is going to be a big lift for me.
So here's the thing: is there's a GoFundMe that Santa Monica is doing, artists here, so because they want musicians and comedians to better have a stage and better do live shows. So there's actually a thing happening right now, and I think it's a kind of a drive-in thing. But anyway, it's for here. It's for so that artists can do shows in Santa Monica, the city where we live. Are you paying attention? I can't tell if you can do 2 things.
Well,
at
Betsy
once.
Pickle was just confirming that was Stephen Stills playing with.
Yes,
Billy
I told
Porter.
you it was one of the Crosby, Stills, and So Jen, what I wanted to tell you when I asked before if you were on the show, so I wore this out today on my errands, and I have to say it's sort of like a bit of a talisman, like a good luck charm, because when you've got it and you're sort of ready to say, look, when someone is behaving in a bad way, it just kind of, just knowing that I had this here, that I had the fuck off on my wrist, I had the greatest time out there, even at Bed Bath & Beyond, which I did not want to go to, but I did so many errands. I went to the post office. I had to go to the post office twice because I forgot to mail a card to my grandmother, who's 101, so you've got to get that card to her quickly, because how long, much longer will she last? So I had to go to the post office twice, and the lady at the post office, who usually doesn't like me very much, I try to be nice to her, and she just barely gives me the time of day. So I said to her, hey, how are things going for you at the post office? Because you guys are really under siege right now. And she said, yes, we are. So then I said to her, you should watch John Oliver. He's got a show called Last Week Tonight, and he's got a great one that he devotes entirely to the post office and how important you guys are and what's happening to you. And then a guy behind me at the post office who had 3 enormous packages, who didn't want to post them at the post office because they were too expensive, and then found from UPS it was going to cost him $300 to post them, so then said to the mail lady, well, I will post them with you. And they were absolutely, they were so big. But he said, what's happening to the post office? And I was like, oh,
people don't know what's happening to the post
Anyway,
office.
so I said to him, you can go online and you can see photographs in Illinois or whatever state it was, where they just have got a pile of, post boxes on top, that have been taken out of their, the street corners that they were on. But anyway, so this, Jen, it worked a charm. I had a lovely time out there. I was charming and had fun with people, and it was all because I knew that if I needed to, I could, hit them with this, and not hit them, but, I could. But I didn't need to, and I had a good time.
Ramona's saying...
Jake couldn't wait for me to finish telling that story.
I couldn't, and I want to hear back about the stages in Santa Monica, but today is Cameleers Day, as Ramona's reminded us. Camels are native to North America, and they found camel bones at the La Brea Tar Pits, which is a short drive from here.
Tons of megafauna stuff.
Camels once roamed nearby Santa Monica. In fact, this part of Santa Monica, I have a history of Santa Monica book. This part of Santa Monica
that I gave you.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a super important bit of info.
You're terrific. Yeah. Man, did I miss you yesterday.
Yeah, he managed. There was no conversation interruptus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was once an ostrich farm.
Where we live?
Yeah. Yeah. So, Darren says the seasick tabs, they stick behind your ears, work great, last 2 to 3 days. Yeah, well, they were selling these ones on the whale watching board. If you Google Jake Johansson whale watching story on Letterman, I think you can watch that. That's definitely posted.
It's good.
They sold these things for $15 that you put on your wrist. It's a little dot with a strap that holds it. It was supposed to pressure point you. They had to
vomit.
Everybody threw up, and it was like they cost $15, and people bought them. They don't want to get seasick, and then everybody's throwing up, and they're going around. Here's your $15. Here's your $15. It just showed you what a racket it was.
Yeah. And the thing is, they didn't sell you it. They rented them to you. So they rented them to you for $15, and you give them back, and then. So then it's just completely, they only make money for the people who, who believe in it hard enough, and it actually stops them from vomiting. Christopher Korn before said that he loves cigaros, and I just want you to know I love cigaros too, and yes, they could make me weep.
God, I once got into an argument with a guy on MySpace because I had jokingly, I would have been in my 40s at the time, and I jokingly put my age down as if I was 21. Because that was the minimum age that you could be on MySpace or something. I thought it'd just be funny to say I was 21. And this 21-year-old, I commented on something that he said, and he's like, "You're not 21. You really got into a bitch thing about me not being 21." And I was like, it's a joke. But then when I read his profile, he was a giant Sigur Rós fan, and he turned me on to Sigur Rós in retrospect. So you can even learn from people who are douchey to you. Is the moral of that story. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's a way to bring it. Yeah, like a callback to a callback.
Well, it's one of the hallmarks of a story is that it has a beginning.
Tell me what. Tell me, a beginning, a middle, and it doesn't have to have an end.
Mind.
Don't be silly. Tell me. I'm interested.
Maybe tonight at bedtime, I'm going to read you some of Tim Russert's Wisdom of Our Fathers, and you're going to have a little cry.
I'm going to be reading. Maybe I don't think I'm in the mood for sentiment, and maybe it's not a hugely sentimental book, but and I'm sure it's lovely and all that stuff. I'm in the mood for some literature. I'm going to be reading a book that won the National Book Prize. I just finished a fantastic book.
Well, would you like to talk about it? I saw that there was another book in the mailbox for you today. What was that book? Don has begun, he just got...
that book that was by my computer?
Yeah, that was in the mailbox today.
Oh, Cassandra must have dropped it off. Yeah. That's going to be, that looks good. Oh, Christopher's got a big red heart. That's how much he loves Sigur Rós. I remember seeing them, and the first time I saw them, I was like, oh my God, these guys, this is unbelievable. They had those beautiful little, it looked like the power lines with all the birds sitting on that visual on the back of the stage.
Keith says sometimes when he's watching the show, he gets a little seasick.
Oh, Keith, come on. Well, if you put your pants on, you might not get seasick.
Ramon says...
If you put your pants on and you didn't have your, you probably got one of those chairs that's on, you're probably getting a vibrating massage. Just stop it, Keith. Stop it right now and you'll be all right.
Ramon says if you open MySpace today, you see tumbleweeds flowing across the screen. I don't know if you do. Every once in a while, I get an email that someone new said something to me on MySpace, like, hey, don't you want to log in? And I'm like, no, I don't want to log in.
Yeah, going online and lying about your age to chat up other people is not considered okay right now. Darren's telling us. I think Jake knows
but I wasn't trying to chat the guy up. I thought it was funny to say that I was 21 because I was so obviously not 21. I thought I was old then. Brad. No, it's Johansen. You failed on your second try.
Yeah. You're almost there, though. You're just missing one N. Carol, I'm really trying not to do a lot of swearing right now. But yes, if Lewis Black and I disagreed on something, would there be a lot of swearing? Question mark. Yes, there probably would be. But as Jen said, I could just go zen by looking at my bracelet. And I could know that I was saying it to him, but I wouldn't even have to say it to him because my bracelet would be, and so then I could be zen behind it. Like I was today. I mean, I was zen at the Bed Bath & Beyond. I was zen at Michael's.
You went to the Bed Bath & Beyond today.
Oh, I have been.
You told me you were never going back there.
I know, I was never going to go back there. Yeah, well then I decided that, I wanted that $16 off.
Well, you should have got us some more of these Vornado fans. Carol Wisniewski is saying that Jake was catfishing for young chicks, and I wasn't. This was a guy. This was a 21-year-old guy that I was having a message with. Anyway, I am a member of the California Farm Bureau because, do you remember that kooky friend of Hillary Bean's?
You're a member of the California Farm Bureau?
Yeah, well...
How did that happen without me knowing? I'd like to be a member of the California Farm Bureau. I'd like to be a farmer.
Well, I'm a member.
Can we go be farmers?
You never want to look at the California Bountiful magazine, which is a benefit of. I got it because the health insurance that I was getting for us for a while years ago came through the California Farm Bureau, and then their dues are like $25 a year, so I just pay their dues because I think it's fun to be a member of the California Farm Bureau, and then their magazine often.
What a quirky guy you are.
Yeah, well, how did you start off? What did you say it was at the beginning? Whatever it was you're really loving me today.
Sweet. And then
after almost 18 years of marriage, you're really getting to understand just how deep I am. Deep? Or deep?
Yeah.
So in the back of the California Farm Bureau magazine,
those look pretty looking tomatoes.
Yeah, these are recipes. That's a heirloom tomato and basil salad, and on the back is peach toast with garden honey and spicy basil.
Bush basil. That looks really good.
And then
I'll show you that one. That one's, yeah.
And the bottom one there is corn fragula and sun gold tomato salad. So that's this one here.
Yes.
So and
yummy.
Then this one is summer melon with shiso and sumac salt. So and then the back, this one, dark chocolate budino with blueberries and basil. How does that look?
Oh, that looks like the chocolate mousse that I make that people say is like chocolate butter.
So those are just a few recipes that we might be having around the house.
This is for me to make.
Yeah, could you whip those up? No, I got those out. Oh my
God.
I got those out because I thought they would be good. Not necessarily for you to make.
Yeah, no. For you to make. You'll make them. You'll make them.
No, the Farmers Only website does not give you a
Mm.
magazine. Carol says she's hardly been on here because of all her vegetables, giant bowls of peppers, tomatoes, eggplants, basil, and all kinds of stuff. That sounds great, Carol. I don't know where you live, but we'd love to take part in some of your garden. Who will help me eat my vegetables?
Are you gardening, Carol? Do you know what's happened here is that it's so hot that my planter boxes aren't actually doing very well because it's quite breezy normally where we live from the ocean, but the planter boxes are behind this fence and they just sort of bake all day in the sun and don't get a breeze and everything in there's looking pretty crap. In fact, today I was at the plant store and I decided not to buy the Kentucky pole beans because I would wait till after the 80-degree weather was gone. Sorry, people who are living in places where it's 100, but I'm going to wait and then I'm going to plant the plants.
Yeah.
That was a really great... that was a pretty boring story. I thought it'd be better.
Rachel made Palisade peach bruschetta the other day. Bruschetta the other day, and it was fantastic.
That sounds really good. I made this Malibu peach salad or nectarine, and you put burrata in. It's completely delicious, and it has basil and arugula, and it's... Oh, my God. But the dressing was a little bit sweet, wasn't it? It had maple syrup and other things in it. I thought the dressing was nice, but just a little
bit sweet. But
a little bit too sweet.
That's easily fixed.
Mm. Yeah.
Farmers Online is an organic dating site. No, that's Farmers Only is the farmer dating site. Anyway, Ramon is trying to fake his age to get some chicks. Is it a good idea, Mr. Predicto? Is it a good idea to fake your age to seduce people online, Mr. Predicto? Let's see.
That is a likely outcome.
That if you fake your age, you could get some chicks online.
It's a good idea. He says it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't think it is a good idea.
No, because I think that thing of, doesn't it happen that people go on, I haven't gone on one of those dating apps, but you go on a dating app and you see someone's photograph and you think, oh, that's, tasty. And then you meet them for a coffee and you're like, oh, that was tasty, 20 years ago. Or tastier, shall we say, tastier, because maybe still...
Although you just keep getting better.
Oh, Jerry, flattery, it will get you everywhere.
You're loving me already.
Well,
Brad's finally got my name correct, Johansen. Thank you.
Well done.
And it's going to be, during these 4 years, I'm only going to spend one of them correcting the spelling of my name.
Once you're the president, you don't give a shit if someone spells your name wrong. You're like, I'm the president, it doesn't matter. And it will be right on all the official documents. We gave Fanula a bit of a hard name because, it's Irish, and so the O is silent. F-I-O.
N-N-U-L-A.
Without saying the O. And so it's not as crazy as, Siobhan, Siobhan. There's
Charisse.
Quiver. I've got a friend whose daughter's name is Quiver, and when you see it spelt, there's no Q in there. There's no V. I mean, it just doesn't even. It's an Irish Quiver.
Yeah.
And when she, and it's.
I think it's all Irish Quivers.
Yeah, CIA. I mean, it's just so completely.
Confusing.
Yeah, completely confusing. Beautiful name, but very, super confusing. And so there you go.
Well, I've got.
And then what else? What else are you going to tell me?
I've got some bad news.
Yeah,
the fart machine seems to be broken.
Oh, well, that's not bad news to me. I'm sick of the fart machine.
Well,
I'm over it.
Good. Yep. Let's see how sick you are. What's your temperature today? 97.3.
That's your temperature. 97.
No, I'm 97.
I don't think that's a very good thermometer. Do me again. Come on. Pardon,
98.4.
Yes, see, that's a liar. You're 96.9. Blah 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 blah. I mean, this
is just a random number generator.
I'll tell you what it is. It's like the guy at the car wash place, or come buy a car. It's a load of hooey. I don't trust that thing. We're not going to know when we're sick, Jerry. We're just not going to know.
Well, we'll know when we're sick because we're going to have symptoms. That's how you know if you're sick.
Yeah, we're having a text today, some friends, and some of them were getting tested, and I was saying, well, I haven't gotten tested yet because I feel like I'll wait till I feel like I've done something risky.
Well, I'm going to get tested. I'm going to get tested now on Monday. So if I get tested, it's almost as if you're getting tested. Well, I mean, we're spending,
Almost. I don't think it's exactly. I'm going to just use you as a footrest right now. We're going to be romantic and sweet.
We're making out and whatnot. We're in close proximity to each other, doing a lot of exhaling into the face of the other one.
You were crying right beside me last night during the Democratic convention.
Can you get COVID-19 from someone crying into your face?
He wasn't doing a lot of crying, which was great.
No, I just welled up a bit. And
it was sweet, and I could tell you were a little verklempt.
Yeah.
It was it was sweet.
Nice try at getting me embarrassed about it.
Yeah. So someone asked how the surfing was yesterday. I've got to tell you something funny. So when I went down to the ocean, it was so foggy because sometimes here in when it's really hot inland, it sucks all the hot air out and the marine layer comes in and you get this fog on the coast. So it was so foggy that from where I parked the car, I couldn't actually see the water I would be surfing in because across the road and down where it was about 300 yards. I haven't told you the story already, no, because it was only yesterday. Anyway, I get my board, I've zipped up my suit, and I'm going, well, I hope it's good. And then I get down there, it's still foggy. You can't see it till you're sort of 10 yards away, and there was no one there. The guy was getting out. He said, "Oh, you've got it all to yourself." So how was it? Well, they were a little tricky, but I did have some fun. So I caught some nice...
And are you going surfing tomorrow? The word is that you're going to be missing tomorrow.
Yeah, the word is I'm going to be surfing tomorrow. I'm looking at the conditions because it looks actually like Friday might be better.
Oh.
But,
so you're either going to miss tomorrow or Friday. We don't know for sure.
Yes, Sorry.
Let's hang on just a second because someone was just asking, Joan was asking if I was going to be crying at the Republican convention as well, and I hope to. We've all got dreams, and that's my dream, is that someone will say something at the Republican convention that will be so patriotic that it'll inspire me to tears. But they seem in the past few conventions to really be emphasizing the fear and anger side of the thing. But we'll see. We'll see how they do.
I wonder if Rush Limbaugh, who's got the Medal of what? Freedom? I wonder if he'll be speaking.
Yeah.
I bet he will be.
Oh, he might be. Mm. Well, I don't know. He's a bit of... in the political pundit range, as in they have people who are more politics.
I know.
Yeah.
Just that to choose someone who is a political pundit and give them the Medal of Freedom for being very yes. Anyway,
Darren says he's going to get the antibodies test. Back in '87, he had a nasty cold, probably rhinus. I just talked to a friend of mine, my friend who is a Kiwi from jiu-jitsu, and he was telling me that Gavin, he's got the antibodies, so he's antibodies.
Oh, so he's feeling good.
Yeah.
Well, that's the test that I'd like to have. Let's ask Mr. Predicto. Do I have the antibodies, Mr. Predicto? Because I bet
Well, this is so much quicker than going to a doctor.
I don't have to have a swab put up
You don't
my
have
nose.
to wait for the results.
Just tell me.
You can take the test right now.
Mr. Predicto,
Does Belinda have the antibodies to the virus?
Ask later when the time is right.
Ask later when the time is right.
That's a little bit of a come on, Mr. Predicto.
Or a little bit of a put down.
When the time is right.
Why don't you ask me when the time is right? Why are you bothering me with this now? I'm busy in my little plastic ball.
Yeah. doing who knows what inside there. That's probably heavy, having my legs on top of you.
Okay.
I've given you a couple of compliments, so I felt like I could get away with some, naughty behaviour just for a minute. That,
Betsy Pickles says she might cast her. She's not going to watch the GOP convention because they don't wear masks. You'll probably catch the Varinus. I don't think you will. I don't think you can catch it from social distance TV.
Darren has seen the video of me with my black eye. Yes, it was from my own board. Oh my God.
Well, yeah, if you go to Belinda's Instagram and scroll down.
No, it's on yours. It's not on. I never put it on my Instagram.
Oh yeah. Oh, well, you go to my Instagram and scroll down. I haven't.
Do you want to know how the accident happened? Or you just want to do? Yeah. You don't.
You were in the ocean and a surfboard hit you in the face.
Well,
would you like to tell it?
It was a bit more exciting.
Yeah, why don't you tell it? Why don't you tell me the story, and then we'll go with the seize the day.
Okay, so we were at Muriwai, which is on the west coast, out from Auckland. Muriwai, and we were surfing, and I was having fun. And
on vacation.
But I was very cold
in New Zealand.
And I was like, oh man, I'm too cold.
How cold were you? You do pretty good with constant interruptions.
Yeah, I know how to go with them. I'm an improver, man. I mean, you interrupt me, I go with it. How cold were you? Yeah. Okay. You just get annoyed. So
you were in the water.
I get agreeable.
Now I'm going to do it how you do it. See, I was doing participatory interruptions.
Okay.
I'm going to do.
How do I do it?
You go back to your story.
So then I was like, oh man, I need more rubber. So I got out.
Rubber. I remember when I was a kid, that's what they used to call condoms, rubbers.
Yeah, you're right. They did. They called them rubbers.
Yeah. We used
when
to
I was
go
a kid, we lived in
scare
Singapore,
couples when
and we
they were
used to
on the
say
road
go to
making
Malaysia to where the trees when the rubber came out. I've seen the rubber drip right out of the tree.
I can't beat you with the interruption.
No, because I thought you're interrupting me. I'll just interrupt right on top of you.
I get it.
How'd you like it?
You're good.
Was it good?
You are the champion, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you want to tell the rest of the story?
Do I want to hear the rest of your story about rubbers? Who were you embarrassing? The older kids? What were they doing? Trying to rub one out? Trying to have sex?
We lived in this subdivision where there were all these cul-de-sacs that they were going to be developing.
So there was a lot of sex happening at the end of the cul-de-sacs.
There were people parking their cars and so we would go and then sneak up on the car when wait till they were in the middle of it and then knock on the windows. They would get so mad.
Oh yeah. Did you get punched the next day at school? Well, they didn't know.
No, they wouldn't. They didn't know who it was. No. We didn't know who it was either.
We
would have been like 12 years old.
Did you try to see what was happening before you knocked on the thing to annoy them? To actually see
I don't even think we understood what was happening.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd find the condoms on the ground afterwards. They would always throw them out of the car and leave them there. I mean, who takes that home? But
were you old enough to know what sex was? Because when I found out what sex was, I was super disappointed at the facts of life. I was like, I thought it was this really sophisticated thing that 18-year-olds did. And then when I found out, I was like, I've already told the story on the show, but...
Were you going to tell them what sex is? And then when I found out...
Yeah. Do you want to know? Do you want to know what sex is?
No, I'd like to hear the end of the surfboard in the eye story. Even when I'm interrupting you telling a story.
But you don't even like that story that much. Or you do? Okay, I'll finish it. So I go ashore... I run up and I get another wetsuit. I put a thicker wetsuit on. I'm super happy.
Because you're cold.
Because I was cold. So I get out of my cold wetsuit and I get into a
You backed up a little bit too far. So we're on our way to the airport to New Zealand. Just get to the part right before the surfboard hits you in the eye. How does it matter that you went back and put on another wetsuit?
Yes.
Okay.
It does. Because it shows how devoted I am to my sport. And that I was cold, but I was like, I don't care that I'm cold. I'll just put more rubber on. I'm going to stay out and keep surfing.
The fact that you went in and got hit in the eye with the surfboard, that looked like you got hit in the eye with a baseball bat in a parking lot.
But that was on the way back out. So I'm paddling back out, and the waves are quite big, and there's a lot of wind. And suddenly there's a guy in front of me on this, it's a little canoe thing that he paddles and goes down the face of the wave super fast. And I've been chatting with him out in the water, but suddenly I was like, oh my God. And I have to, sort of yank my board over and paddle up the face of the wave to get away from this guy. And I go, I did it. I got away from the guy. And then the lip of the wave hit the top of my board and bashed it into, it was on this side, right? Yeah, it was on this side. So hard, and you could sort of hear the crunch because you've got all that bone there. It didn't break any, but you could hear this like crunch thud. And often when I have a little bit of an accident in the water, I'll stay in the water, but this time I was like, Belinda, you just go.
Belinda. Yes, Belinda. Sometimes she will call herself by her own name when she really needs to get the point across.
To me, when I really need to get the point across to me, I'm like, Belinda, you've just been hit pretty hard in the fizzog, which is what we call the face in my family. You've got to get out of the water. And by the time I get up to Martin's surf shop where we'd rented the board, and he's a friend of ours, and I'm standing in the middle, and there are all these people who are coming to learn to surf beginners, and he's like, don't be standing in the middle of everyone with, because I've got a bag of peas on there.
You're not a good advertisement for the...
No!
For the shop, for the... Would you like to get an injury just like this?
Yeah, would you like to get a monster black eye? It did not go away for a long time, and, yeah, anyway.
All right, so, but what I was saying is, you don't need to tell me about putting the wetsuit on for the dedication of the story. The fact that you're still surfing after this accident, which was unbelievable.
No, I didn't surf after it. Once that was when I was like, Belinda, you've been really badly hit in the face.
Well, you went back in, but you went out 2 days later and surfed again. You went out and surfed again after that on that trip.
And then I ripped off a toenail. Remember that time we had to go to the emergency room because I
let's save that for when we get back. This is already a super long show. People are like, is this going to be a 2-hour show?
No, they really want to hear about the toenail. Because in New Zealand, there's free healthcare, so you can pitch up to the, place. I mean, the nurse was a horrible old bat and not very nice at all. She barely gave me a plaster, which is what we call a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
I mean, it only cost $50 to, go in and see her and be looked after. But I was like, you could be a little bit nicer and give me I don't know if she thought, I don't know what, did she think, I don't know,
You're having trouble bringing this story in for a landing, I think, because it sort of turned into another story now.
Yeah, because now I'm remembering what a cow the nurse was.
But don't get bogged down in that. The moral the moral is
tell me how to tell a story. Go on.
I'm not telling you how to tell a story. I'm telling you what
my Morse code was pinching some hairs on my wrist.
Yeah, you go fuck yourself.
No. It's fuck off. It's fuck off. It's fuck off. Not go fuck yourself. It's fuck off.
Right.
Darling.
Darling. I love you.
Yeah,
I love you
too. But right now.
All right.
Okay. So we're going to do a mutual fuck off with this.
No, we're not.
No, we're going to read this and then we're going to be gone.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, but in a sweet way, not a horrible way.
The moral of the story is you are a very tough person and you're very dedicated to surfing. That's my takeaway from that story.
Yes, yeah.
And I love you. Where's the marriage at?
Oh, God, it's pretty high right now.
Yeah, pretty high.
I would say, is it crested over 10? Oh, no, we would have to make a baby. We'd have to make a baby today.
Yeah, that's only 10.
Yeah. It's a little more involved with that when,
Somebody's trying to call me on the phone right now. Okay, so today's Seize the Day is from Charles Swindoll. Attitude is more... Hey, could you please listen to me?
It's the guys. I've got to go.
I know. Yeah. Attitude is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than what people do or say. It is more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. Attitude. And you have a winning attitude. Wow. Wait till you see the baby we're going to make tonight.
You're buttering me up.
Always.
Well
All right.
done.
Thanks, everybody. Don't give up.
Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day. Don't give up. There'll be plenty of time to give up later. We'll see you all tomorrow on Thursday. And then it's a real cliffhanger. Will Belinda be here or will she be in the ocean?